Hey guys, what's up? This is Fred. I'm going to be covering for Daniel's channel. He's on vacation.
No, I'm just kidding, guys. This is Daniel, and welcome to part 2 of my Sega Genesis collection video. And if you didn't check out part 1 yet, make sure to do that first, because watching stuff like this in order is super important.
Ooh, this is a weird one. Home Alone for Sega Genesis. It's not my favorite game, but I'm actually pretty surprised how fun this game is. Even its hair on it. Anyways, I'm actually pretty surprised how fun it is. You just play as Kevin and like take your sled around different houses, and you have to set traps to keep the bad guys from just totally taking over the neighborhood. So it's actually really fun. I like it. Another really, really great game. It looks like this used to be my friend's. I don't know if they gave it to me or if I just stole it. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. But or if they let me borrow it and I forgot to give it back. I don't know. Either way, it was a long time ago. But easily one of my favorite games of all time. Echo the Dolphin. The soundtrack was actually inspired by Pink Floyd, which was pretty awesome. And it's just, I always love showing people the very beginning of this game, when you jump up in the air and then the time space continuum screw up happens, and like the tornado comes up with all the fish, and then it just turns all dark all of a sudden. Because it's like, I feel like that a lot of people think that this is some like just game for kids or whatever. It's actually one of the hardest games I've ever played, and thank God for save states, because I still haven't beaten it, but I've gotten a lot farther in it because of save states, and I really need to play that more soon. But anyways, that's what I do when I want to show people like how the game goes from like all upbeat to just super dark all of a sudden. Is I'll show them I'll just let them play a little bit. I'll be like, oh, dude, just whatever you do, don't jump in the air. I don't know. And they'll jump up and then, like, it goes down. So that's really cool. Also, I love that game. Oh, it looks like I have a... totally forgot I even had this, but it's a much nicer condition copy of Sonic the Hedgehog. Once again, another game that I think my friends actually let me have. Animaniacs for Sega Genesis. Another game I really like. I was surprised it's kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of, like... I have to use Sonic as an example. Sonic Heroes, where you play as all three of them, and they each have their own powers that they can use to get through like parts of the level, and that was a really addictive quality of this game. Trying to save a few of my best for last, maybe. Another sports game, another sports game, another sports game. I think a lot of people didn't really know what I liked when I was little. Jordan versus Bird. I remember when I was little, if I remember right, that is. I think I thought that it was weird that like he didn't play as an actual bird in this game. I know it was pretty dumb. I remember there's this joke on Family Guy where Peter goes, "Oh my gosh, Chris, you're the white Larry Bird," and I feel like I wouldn't have even got that joke. I'm like so not into sports. I wouldn't have got that if it wasn't for knowing the guy was white in that game or whatever. This is another racing game I remember kind of liking, but I don't really remember it that much. So, anyways, there's that. Let's see. Hockey. I don't know why I said that so upbeat. I don't really care about that game. Okay. This is easily one of my favorite games of all time. Like, probably in my top 5 or 10 favorite games of all time. Castleville Engine starring Mickey Mouse. Amazing platforming, great soundtrack, a lot of cool puzzles to solve, and you just really feel like you're a part of that world. And I was stoked when the Xbox Live Arcade re-release came out, which... I thought they could have done a little bit better with it, but I was still pretty happy with it, so... I can't say enough good about this. This is a fantastic game, and I still play it to this day. Another game I really like, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but... well, I would say it's one of my favorites, but not one of my top favorites. But Aladdin for Sega Genesis is another really, really great platformer. It gets pretty hard during the last third of the game or so, but there's a lot of really, really fun stuff to do in this game. And one of my favorite things about it is when you like take your sword and you hit Iago, and he goes, "Ah!" and the feathers go everywhere. Oh no. Another game that looks like I got from my friends Steven and Jason back in the day. PacMan. PacMan 2, The New Adventures. This game was really, really, really interesting. I also have a lot of really fun memories with my friend Chris playing this. I like how they took like the Pac-Man mechanic of like Pac-Man moves on his own on screen, and you have to like press the different directions to get him to, you know, go places. Like, you don't move him with the directional pad, you just kind of steer him or whatever. And this game does the same thing. You just kind of like press a button on the directional pad, and this like creepy hand will come up and go, look, look. And then like he'll go that way, like wherever the hand's pointing, but he walks automatically, and you have to like keep him out of danger. And me and my friend Chris were saying something like he has like post-traumatic stress disorder or something, because like everything like freaks him out, and he like dies really easily, and just like he could get like a feather could fall on his head, and it just seems like he'd like just kick the bucket right there. So anyways, this is another, it's actually really fun though. I do like it, but it's kind of stressful playing it because Pac-Man's so stressed out all the time. I feel like I'm like, the character resonates onto me, and I'm just like, man. Game Genie. This is the best game ever. You get to play as this genie in this game, and it's Game Genie. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, it's just, it's a for cheats. This game is a really, really fun scroller, Elder Scrolls Skyrim. It's a really fun side-scroller beat-em-up, the Power Rangers movie, and it's actually still a good movie too. What's really funny is I always make jokes of how it's a game, but it's a game of a movie. So I joke and say, like, what if they made like a book based off of the game based off of the movie? That'd be pretty funny. But anyways, really, really good side-scrolling beat-em-up. And I definitely recommend watching the movie too, because it's by far, in my opinion, the best Power Rangers like anything out there. So another really, really great game. I'd say I like it about as much as the Aladdin one is Lion King. Actually, I probably like Aladdin slightly better because it's a little bit easier to progress, but this game's pretty hard actually. But it's really cool because they actually translated the movie music to the Genesis sound font really well. So that was a really good translation, and the music definitely helps carry you along and enjoy the game better as you play it. Some of my favorites for last. Another one of my favorite games, Maximum Carnage for Sega Genesis. This is, I would say, I'm not really that into like traditional superheroes, but Spider-Man is definitely my favorite if you're talking traditional like comic book superheroes. And you can play as Spider-Man and Venom, and I would say Venom might actually be my favorite character in the Spider-Man universe. So it's really cool because you play Spider-Man for a while, then you unlock Venom, and that's when shit gets real. I don't know. So, this game, I just love the way it feels. You really feel like you're just wailing on these thugs as you're like beating them up or whatever. It's really funny to see their names like up in the corner. I know that people like say that it's like if you were eating like a hamburger or something, and like if the cow had a name and you knew what its name was, it's like you wouldn't want to eat it. And I kind of feel that way sometimes when I beat up the thugs, because it's like, oh dude, I'm beating up like Phil right now. Like, this guy has a name. That means he must have a family. Like, someone named him, and I don't want to beat him up. I feel bad. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, it's a really fun side scroll. I almost said side scroll him again. Side scroller beat him up. Freaking this is one of my favorite games ever. Quackshot. I probably like this one almost as much as Castle of Illusion. Ooh, it's tough. I might like it as much or even more. I don't know. I can't decide. But Quackshot, another fantastic game, and the plunger upgrades, it kind of reminds me of like the Legend of Zelda stuff, because you get these upgrades to these plungers as you play through it. Like, he shoots plungers. Like, I should have just started with that. You shoot plungers at the bad guys, and at first it just like sticks the like on them for like a little while and goes and they just wobble, and you can you get past it that way. It doesn't like kill them or anything. But then later in the game, you get like upgrades. Like, you get like a red plunger, and you can like shoot it on walls and climb up it. And then later you get like a green plunger, you can shoot it up on these birds and like ride on the birds as they're like flying or whatever, and get to like new areas and stuff. So that's how it reminds me of the Legend of Zelda series, is that these upgrades help you get to like different sections and whatever. So and you also have like, you get like, I think like a popcorn gun, and those can actually kill the enemies, and like a bubble gun where it can like break through these blocks. And one of my favorite parts in the game, so when you go into Dracula's castle, and it's like the ghost in Dracula's castle is like floating in front of you, and you have to like creep behind him, and if he turns around, you have to duck. Duck. if he turns around, you have to duck, and if he sees you, if you don't duck in time, he unleashes like all of his like ghost minions on you, and they come after you, and it's actually really creepy. Like to this day, I still feel like a little unnerved playing that part, but when I was little, it was just like, oh yeah, gonna get through this part, gotta make it through, gotta be Dracula so I can get to the happier sections of the game. But anyways, really, really great game.
Anyways, guys, that's the end of part 2 of my Sega Genesis collection video. If you liked the video, please subscribe to help my channel out. Anyways, I'll see you guys during part 3. Later.